start. Took a bunch of notes about the presentation up here because there were so many inaccuracies in it. I stopped taking notes. I'm sure there are plenty of people in this room that appreciate what I do here, from the food and from the effort that I put in. I know there are people in this room that don't like me. Okay? For whatever reason, not sure what that is. I will say that the board and Janet have been working through a lot of issues over the last 2 years. She's fixed a lot of stuff that was not highlighted in this. It was interesting that not one of the people that got up here and spoke has ever called me directly and said, hey, could you take care of this for me? Or, hey, I've seen this. Not one person that got up here said, you know, can you go help me out over here? Or how's the dues work? Or not one, but they got together and they made this presentation that basically highlights just the negative aspects of this club. Now, the board knows there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, and so do we. What we do is we try to do our best in order to address all of that stuff. There are people in this room right now that are behind on their dues almost $1,000. And we've talked to those people, and they say they never get the emails, yet their email is verified, and we can show that they get the emails. There are people in this room that make false statements about what I said during that confrontation. Okay? I'm not going to address all of that stuff. What I'm saying is there are two sides to every story, and I have the best interest of this club in mind. I've worked tirelessly, okay, to make this club better, and a lot of the stuff that has been brought up can be fixed with money. The issue is there's not enough revenue to address a lot of the stuff that, you know, that I saw in those pictures right there. Okay, so we can have a discussion. I'm totally willing to talk to people about their concerns. Okay? No one ever calls me. What they do is they run to the board and say, Mark's doing this. Mark's doing this. Instead of saying, hey, Mark, I've got this concern. You know, to me, that is called a hostile environment. Instead of actually talking directly to me. Because I'm very nice when you come to me and talk to me, but if you say the course looks like shit, and you did say the course, I have someone that can corroborate that. What you did is you cut that out of your video, okay? So anyway, I am being civil, but that is the truth. And that's why I went on the rant. Okay? So, I have someone that was sitting right at the table that will verify that. Okay, so let's just drop that. Now, concerning the stock purchase, the contract states that when we get notification from the IRS that the taxes have been paid. Now, we know the taxes have been paid because Janet finalized the last payment. Okay, she's worked with the board and Brent about that. We have 90 days from that point to do our due diligence and decide if we want to purchase that stock. Okay, we haven't received the formal 90-day notice. That doesn't mean we have to wait 90 days. I've already talked with Brent. It'd be great if we could get this taken care of. You know, the other issue that I heard was from Dawn. Yes, the club continues as the club. Okay, I'm just buying the stock. Okay, that means everybody in here is still a stockholder, but I will in effect have about 65% of the stock. There hasn't been a board election in years, which actually, I'm not trying to point out fault, but that should have been done at least once or twice since before I started. And so there will be a new board election. People do need to apply, say, hey, I want to be on the board. I will tell you this, people have asked me directly, what are you going to do with the club? Obviously, we need to keep the club here. That is, I'm not refuting that at all. What we have to decide is, are people willing to pay what it requires to keep the club here? Okay? The dues have not kept up with inflation. They haven't kept up with inflation. Call around to a couple other private clubs. It has been brought up that this club has not been operated as a country club in years. Call around to some other private country clubs and see what they charge. It's between $400 and $600, and you want to go more, go down to Sedgefield and talk to Sedgefield and how much they charge, and ask them about the food minimum. Okay? I understand that. I know that. I'm not saying. What I'm saying is, we have to determine what that number is. All right, so I guess the meeting is over if people are leaving.
If people could sit down for just a second, ask people to come back, please.
There.
Please come back, sit down.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, sure thing.
But we need to do
Please, that should be. I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. I think I'm gonna speak for the board here a little bit too.